Can't you see my tank colony is colony. It's not like a 2, 3 branch and then you say it's a
It's
colony.
true. It's true. All right. Okay, I'm going to hit the live button. You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Perfect. All right. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Wednesday ReefDudes live stream. Today we have Alan Anthony. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. So I'm kind of excited to come check out your system today because you have a big, beautiful, amazing 360-gallon tank. And you're running Zeovit actually, which is one thing that I get asked about a lot, but I've never done anything with Zeovit, so that one's still a bit of a mystery to me.
Well, my riffing philosophy is the coral has been established in the ocean for millions of years, so their DNA is adapted to seawater.
Hmm.
And Zeovit is the only system that mimics seawater for their success. So for me, I want to provide the best environment for the corals. So therefore, I choose Zeovit to do that because I think if we can give them as close as the nature give it to them, then they
Hmm.
will thrive and they will grow and they become healthy.
It's a good philosophy. So how long has your tank been up?
My tank has been running since February of 2017, so like about 2.5 years.
Nice. Did you have now? Is this an upgrade from a previous tank, or because
Well, I
you?
used to have a 265-gallon tank, but that was in my old house. So when I
Okay.
moved to this house 2.5 years ago, and this is going to be brand new from start. So from the dry rocks and then from fracs and things like that. Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. So did you do Zeovit before, or did you just do it on this tank?
No, just on this tank.
Okay.
My older tank is just a regular system like calcium reactor, and then you dose just amino acid things like that.
Now, have you noticed a difference between the two tanks? Like, has there been any noticeable change for you, or is there?
Well, the growth is incredible.
Mhm.
I started the tank for 2.5 years, but the first year mainly for adapted, and then the water is getting better and better. So for me, I think it's only about like a year and a half of growth.
Okay.
But my coral stack on colony, you will see later, it's like at least like 12 by 12.
Yeah.
So it grows very fast.
Mhm.
I don't know exactly. I cannot tell you exactly because of Zeovit, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think so.
Yep. Um, someone's asking, do you think Anthony will give a tour of his setup? He sure will be. Don't you worry. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask this one because I know we're gonna get asked. What levels or parameters do you keep your tank at, or like your LCL
Oh,
mag nutrients?
um, the alkalinity is at 7.5.
Hmm.
Calcium is like about 420,
Okay.
and magnesium is like about 1300 to 1400.
Okay. Nice. Then do you? What about nitrates and phosphates? Are they? I mean, Zeovit. They're probably pretty low.
Well, that's another thing I want to talk about. Zeovit wants to run everything ultra low, which
Hmm.
means zero phosphate and zero nitrate. But I'm kind of a reefer like to have a little bit richer color. So I
Hmm.
run my nutrients a little bit higher than that. It's the phosphate is at zero point zero 0.08, and
Hmm.
then the nitrate is at 10 ppm.
Okay, that's not bad. So do you find a lot? So that's one thing actually, which is kind of good to hear because with Zeovit, that to me it always felt like you're on the edge because you're that really pale colors is almost like a stress response. Where with the higher nutrients, you get more of those deeper, richer colors out of
Yes, they run it low, but they dose a lot.
it. Hmm.
So it's kind of like a counter reaction. But as far as if you run it at zero, and then if you don't keep up, then things could go wrong very fast.
Yes, I could see that. Okay, now one other thing I actually want to ask you about. You were saying one of your anemones was starting to split on its own, and that was one that doesn't normally split.
Well, I'm not an expert of anemones. Okay,
Hmm.
I mean, if you talk about SPS, I can tell you pretty much everything. But anemone is something that I just like to venture into.
Yeah.
I bought a Giganta anemone, the carpet ones, and then when I do the treatment in the tank, in the tank, they just split. So I don't know what happened. I keep asking everybody to help me because I don't know what to do. And then I kind of follow the Cypro treatment for 14 days. And then eventually it split. So now one become two.
Bonus.
Yeah, bonus. But everybody say that they don't split in captivity. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to that one. Maybe I got lucky of this one here. Go against the grain and just split in the tank.
What type of an anemone was it?
It is the carpet anemones.
Okay, carpet.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't think I've ever seen one split, so that is kind of cool.
That's what everybody say. I mean, all the experts in the forum, they say that I should document it because it never happened before. So I make a thread, and then every day I took picture and I upload to the thread so that everybody can follow it.
Nice. No, that's very cool. Okay, someone was asking in the comments because you said that you keep your nutrients a little bit higher. Do you just feed extra heavy to get them elevated, or do you do something else?
I have about 80 fish in the tank, big and small. So I have a lot of fish. Okay, I feed on the auto feeder 7 times a day.
Okay.
And at night I do one frozen.
Yep.
And then once in a while, I walk by, I put some omega flake in there. So it probably like about 10 times a day I feed them.
Okay, they got a lot of fish. All right, that would do it. Do you have a favorite fish in there?
Oh, yeah. I just got a blue face koi tang, so that's my favorite.
Nice. Very cool. Nice. Do you want to go take a peek at the tank?
Yeah, let me do that.
Blue face koi tang. Very cool. All right, so quick thing about the tank. So your tank is 360 gallons.
And then it's a peninsula, which means I have 2 different sides of the aquarium. So almost I have 2 aquarium in one. So this is the back side, so you can see all the coral in the back here.
I love those butterflies, the pyramid butterflies, like you debated.
The pyramid, yes.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
When I go to the front, I'll show you something that very interesting.
Okay.
But this is the backside of the aquarium.
Looks beautiful on the backside.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's a lot of corals back here anyway.
When you get a new favorite coral, are you more tempted to put on the front side or the back side?
Well, my favorite is those staghorns. So anything like this one right here, that would be my favorite because my vision of reef is the damsel live in the staghorn, run in and out of the reef. So let me show you something in the front that you know what I mean. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, there it is.
Oh yes, they're all hosting the stag.
Yeah, they all live in the stag. And that to me is the vision of the reef. That's how I imagine it. Nice. But this is the front side, so a lot of different coral in the front too. So not the same as the back side.
No, and you got some huge colonies in there too.
Yes. And this size right here used to be a bunch of bubblegum digi and a lot of digitata and things like that. So it's grow too big, so I take them out and I start planting a little bit different other stack in here. So
nice. So do you end up on the front side or the back side of the tank the most?
Mostly in the front because I like to watch the damsel. So the front side is where they reside in the staghorn coral. So I like the front side better. Plus, it's cooler inside. The fish room is sometimes really hot. So the living room is much cooler.
Makes sense. So now with all the damsels living in that stag, have they started to like nip at the flesh or lay eggs at the base of it?
Actually, they did it before, but now I don't see it anymore. But before, when I look at some of the underneath of the staghorn, there's a patch of white, and I thought the staghorn is RTN.
Yeah.
But I keep looking at it, and then I saw the damsel kind of like lay eggs in there. So I said, "Oh wow, okay." So I just leave them alone. But now they don't do it anymore. So I don't know what happened.
Okay. When I was doing the coral restoration trip, I know that was one of the things. The damsels are almost a pest with that because they would, get a lot of the flesh at the base, and they'd try and lay all their eggs there. So they'd always be hiding in stags, trying to like fight you away from their stag house.
But this is the one of the anemones right here, and then the clone is still in the treatment tank in here.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's a big.
So
that's
that's
big
the
guy.
same anemone, but they just become two right now.
That's huge.
And show you a little bit about the sun.
All right, so that's a big sump. So what all do we got going on?
It's almost like 100 gallon, I think. And I run the Zeovit dosing station is up here with the aquaponics, so I can keep track of the alkalinity right here. You can see I have a lot of bottles up here.
Nice. Do you have it dosing alkalinity for you, or just testing?
No, only monitoring.
Okay.
I don't trust machines, so.
No, that's fair.
So even like Apex, for me, I only use it to look at the temperature, the pH, the things like that. But I don't use it to control anything because, I mean, it could mess it up easily,
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
And,
so you got the Inkbird for the heater controller. Do you trust that for your heater?
Well, even heater controller, I use Raincoats right here.
Yeah, or sorry, Raincoat.
Yeah, much better than Apex.
I used to have that one. Nice.
A holding tank, so I just use this thing here to put like new fish in here, so I can keep them for like a month before I put it into the main tank.
Nice.
And this is my farm tank. This is most of the SPS frac I want to grow out.
So now is that more new ones you buy to go in your tank, or stuff that you sell?
Yeah, stuff that I buy, or like high end stuff that I want to keep it away from the main tank, because it's much easier to work in the frac tanks than the main tanks.
Okay, that makes sense.
Last but not least is my Anemone Lagoon, and this is what most people like to see it.
Nice.
Let me turn off the pump here.
A nice little fish room. You got 3 or 4 tanks on top of your big tank.
Yeah. Luckily, when I bought the house, they have a sunroom right behind the living room, so I use this for my fish room.
Perfect.
But anyway, this is the anemone tank I have for the carpets, and then for some of the rose anemone.
Nice. Got a bunch of clams in there too.
Couple clams, a couple of the new one from Aura. It's a snowstorm clown.
Very cool.
But yeah, just a top down. I have some big euphyllias and fox spawn, and some teeniest right here. Some of the nice ones.
Nice, very nice. So, are all these tanks plumbed together into one big system?
Yes, they all plumb together. I do have some UV passing before they go back to the sun, so kind of like prevention. Either pass or whatever pass by. Hopefully, you can kill it.
Now, that's a good way to do it. I mean, because you are semi using it. That one is a quarantine tank, so a little prevention is good.
Yeah, I mean, like it's. I can set up like a separate tank for quarantine, but it's just more work, so that you have to dose it and you have to take care of it and things like that. So I plumb everything in, to one system. But on the quarantine tank, I just the return of it, I run through a UV.
Okay, nice. So a couple of people are asking, what all are you running for lighting up there? Because you got a bunch of different ones going on.
I have 3 different lights because I like to play with the corals. So my main light is highlights and LEDs. So I have 3 of the highlights right here on top.
Okay.
And then I have couple of the LEDs in the middles, and then a lot of the LED bars on the side,
Nice.
like a bunch of them. Okay.
Yep.
And then my frac tank is 8-volt ATIs, old blue fuzz.
Nice.
And then my Anemone tank is LEDs.
Okay.
So I can get a frac, and then I can play with it, and then I can see which light give me the best respond, and then I can just keep it in there.
Now, do you find any lights kind of win overall, or is it each coral has a different light that it likes?
Different coral will adapt to different lights. Like for me, Tinius will be best in LEDs. Somehow they don't like the highlight spectrum. Maybe it's too bright or whatever. But for most of the other coral, like staghorns and plates and bush coral, things like that, highlight is by far still the best light.
Still wins.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you look at things like that. It grow in like a year and a half. So I don't think any other lights can do that. So
yeah, that's fair. Halide is the one I've never actually used. It's the only one I haven't tried yet. So
it's nowadays the ballast and the way they build the light is much less heat than before. I remember before when I used to have highlights in the 90s, it's very hot. But nowadays, the technology is advanced, the ballast is advanced, so it's not much heat. However, I have solar, so to me, electricity is not a concern.
Okay. Then what all are you running for flow? I see an MP40.
Flow, I have like about 10 power heads inside.
Nice.
2 MP40 here. And then I have 2 Detunzi 6105, and then in the middle is another 6105 on the C-sweep.
Nice.
And then at the end, 2 of the QP16. I think the Reef breeder brand is this one.
Yep.
And then another C-sweep here.
Nice.
And my system return pump is the Red Dragon. And then I have Bubble King Supermarine 250. And then this is my Zeovit reactor. Calcium reactor is the Reef Octopus, the blue chamber. Allen Lee goose stage regulator.
Yep.
And then I also run Saltwater reactor. So
okay, wait. Okay, so you got your dosing. You're dosing? You have Calc and a calcium reactor. So you got all the methods.
Yes. Yeah. It's a lot of volume, so I have to find ways to put it back without causing problem. Because if I only use calcium reactor, then I will put in a lot of CO2 in the water, and then my pH kind of go down. So I have to incorporate the kawasha in there to balance it out.
Okay. Nice.
Most of the dosing on the Zeovit is just for color enhancement and.
Okay, so they're not like a calcium.
Yeah, they're not like calcium or magnesium or alkalinity or anything like that. Mostly like amino acid and more for the colors.
Okay. Someone was just asking how many return pumps do you have?
Oh, I have actually 2 return pumps, but one is a return, and then the other one run the manifold.
Okay. Nice.
And I always have another return pump on the side. So if I have any problem with this one here, I just swap the other one in. So I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, it's always good to have backups.
Yeah, okay. I have a backup. Yeah, I have exactly the same pump backup. So if the main pump go out, then I just swap it in. It's the same dimension and same fitting and everything. So it's very simple to swap in.
Nice. What does your pH stay at? Because I know you said you're dosing Calc to kind of boost it up a bit.
pH right now is about, as you can see, 8.31. Nice. And then at night, it's like about 8.1.
Oh, it's a pretty happy range. Nice.
Yeah, it's a really good range. Since since I add the Kawasha reactor, I can see that my coral reacts much better.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Farm Frags was asking, do you use a chiller on your system?
Yes, I have a trade wind chiller is in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Behind this, I have a shed,
Nice.
which have the RDI and the mixing water, things like that in the back. But I don't change water, so mainly just the RDI.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice. So never do a water change, it stays good on its own. Zeovit takes care of it all.
Yeah, I mean, like every few months, when I want to clean this,
Mm-hmm.
then I mix like about 5 gallon, and then I just suck the spot out, and I put 5 gallon back in. But
Oh.
I don't have a routine water change like weeklies or monthly.
Mm-hmm.
My theory on water change is years ago in the 90s, we don't have any Zeovit or Aquaforest or whatever, all the company that build all the additive for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we rely on water change to help the tank, and then to put back like trace element, things like that. But
Yeah.
nowadays, I mean, the dosing part is almost taking care of it. The
Mm-hmm.
calcium reactor is already taking care of the other parts. So water change to me sometimes even make the tank react different, because they they change the chemistry in the tank, things like that. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
I just leave it as is, and then I check salinity like every 3-4 days, make sure that it stay the same,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. I mean, the RE dye taking part of it.
Nice.
Actually, this tank, a lot of people think that I have to maintain it like a lot, but for me, I tell you the truth. Every day, I just only feed the fish and then clean the glass, and that's it. I mean, the rest is all the automates, or I don't do water change, so I don't have to do anything. That's it. I mean, I don't have to do a lot for the system.
Mm-hmm. Nice and easy.
Yeah. better have more time to look at the corals than to do the work.
Yeah, exactly. Now, just another question. A couple of people are asking what types of LEDs. Are they Ocean Revives or different brand or what?
Oh, there's the Ocean Revive T247.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I only
Nice.
use this for the blue. As you can see, there's the white is not turning on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me talk to you about lights.
Okay.
When I met Jason Fox about 2 years ago at RAP, I talked to him and I kind of asked him regarding about lighting, and he explained to me, and then I kind of agree with him. He said that when he died for the corals, he see nothing but blue. There's no white, there's no red, no greens, or nothing down there. Only blue light,
Mm-hmm.
is where the coral's at. So he runs the system he called 4, 4, and 4. So he
Mm-hmm.
start out with 4 hours of all blues, and then the next 4 hours he can do full spectrum, which means blue and white and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last 4 hours is all blue. And
Okay.
then he found out that with that the corals grow much better, and then the coloration is much better.
Ah.
So I mean, I can argue with Jason Fox because his corals look really nice. So I kind of like put that into my system, and
Mm-hmm.
then since then until now, I run the 444, which is actually like a more blue than white
Yep.
kind of schedules.
Nice. That's interesting. I've kind of unknowingly done something kind of along those lines. I have kind of like the AB plus, a little on the blue side.
Uh-huh.
And I have about 3 or 4 hours of like my cooking period where I have boosted the whites and greens and like a lot more light coming in for 3 or 4 hours, and goes back to like the AB plus kind of thing and gets bluer throughout the night.
Yeah, I think WWC they do the same thing. They run a lot of blues, and then they only turn on white maybe like 3 and 4 hours, I think.
Mm-hmm. Now, how long do you keep your? So you have highlights on LEDs. Are they all on for that period, or do you have your
No,
highlights
the
on for the four
highlights only
hours?
on for 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, and then all the LEDs on for 8 hours.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Now, when it comes to Zeovit, what all are you dosing for the Zeovit additives? That side of it.
Well, let's see. This is one of the best one called flatworm stock. This is gonna help your coral to be healthy and a lot of slime. Therefore, they kind of fight off the flatworm that cause problem for you. It's not completely kill them, but it's kind of preventing them to multiply. So it's a good thing to have.
So it helps the corals build a slime coat, essentially.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then the base is very thick. If you look at all my colonies, you can see the base it spread out a lot on the base.
Mm-hmm.
That because of the additive that I add for it helps. Like if you see this colony right here, you see the base is completely covered with rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So um, so that what is the flatworm stock will help you with that.
Nice.
And Zeostat is a bacteria source type of additive, so it helps to reduce phosphate and nitrate.
Mm-hmm.
Over here, you have B balance. This is for if you have light coral and you want to make it darker, then you can dose this one here.
So does it add nutrients to the tank? Or what does it do exactly?
It's I don't know what they have inside to be honest.
Black magic.
But yeah, but they the guidance is let's say you have lighter corals and you want to get it a little darker, then you dose this. And they have the opposite. They have the A balance for you to have darker coral, and then you want a lighter, then you dose that. So they have both ways for you to play with.
Crazy.
For extra, it's just like amino type of food to help the coral colors better. And then I have a bunch of the little bottles that I have to manually dose. That's in the refrigerator.
Okay. And those are more trace elements for the coral
Yeah,
colors?
those are more for like bacteria and coral food, things like that. Things that can be spoiled. So I have to leave it in the refrigerator.
Okay. Now you also had a Zeovit reactor, so that's full of rocks, and that's for
Yeah,
growing like
they
a
call
denitrate type of idea.
Yeah, they call zeolite. It's the main function is eliminate ammonia. See, Zeovit system, they figure out that okay, if I eliminate ammonia completely, then there's no nitrite after that, and there is no nitrate after that. So because of that, your nitrate is stopped. That's that's their thinking of how to reduce nitrate. They don't have thing that reduce nitrate. They reduce ammonia.
Makes sense. I mean, that's what turns into nitrate.
So they stop the change of reaction. So that's how they do it.
I did not know that. Good to know. Someone else was asking 2 questions. Do you have any shading issues, and are you also dosing potassium?
Shading, I think so.
Just a little.
It's getting big, but it looks fine. I mean, as you can see, I mean, I don't have any bleaching or anything, so I don't know. It's pretty much shading a lot, but I guess because the coral is healthy, so they don't mind.
You also have a lot of light up there, so you probably get a lot of reflection back off your glass from different angles and whatnot, which probably helps.
Yeah, I mean, I have 1,200 watts of highlights up here, so it's a lot of light. And what is the second question? I'm sorry.
And the other one was, are you dosing potassium?
Oh, potassium. No. One of the additive of Zeovit has potassium. So I don't dose that, but I do test it once in a while. They have a test kit for that, but it's not really matter a lot. Only if you have like more blue coral, and then if you see your blue coral kind of like change color, then maybe your potassium level is low. But if your blue coral is okay, the shade is blue, then you don't have to worry about it. I don't chase number. For me, I look at my coral every day, and I can tell what's going on in the tank. Maybe I can do this and do that to help it, but I don't test the number or follow like exactly like the level that Zeovit asked me to do, things like that. I don't
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Well, that's fair. Someone else asking, are you using the radium bulbs?
Oh no, there's a double N.
Mm-hmm.
So I use the Phoenix 14K.
Okay, nice. Tom was saying nice colors. Lots of people are loving your tank.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. No, very, very nice. This is a gorgeous tank. How long is your tank?
It's 96 by 36 by 24. But
Nice.
I regret the 24 part because I didn't expect the staff point to grow so fast. So now, I mean, it's almost to the top already, as you can see. So for me, if I do the next tank, I will make it 30 inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can have more space for the fish to swim, and then let the stack one go up a little bit more.
Now, do you have any issues working on your tank or getting to the bottom?
Oh, as you can see, this part right here is impossible for me to reach down to clean it because the stack one is already to the glass.
Yep.
So yeah, even though the tank is really wide,
Mm-hmm.
but I scape it like a peninsula, so you don't see the depth of the tank until if I go to this view right here.
Mm-hmm.
Then now the depth of the tank is much wider, but because the coral stack both ways, so I don't have a lot of space in the on the side to do stuff. And then as you can see, the stack one is already grown to the glass right there, so it's hard for me to clean that part of that.
Yep, I could see that. Greg said to say hi. And
Oh,
yep.
is it great?
Yep, Greg Carroll.
Oh, awesome. Here's my koi tank right here.
That is pretty. Very nice. Yeah, Farm Frags was saying best view. I agree. I love looking at the long end down because he's got so much depth and just goes on and on and on.
But I might change the scape. I might make it like a front to back, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a big task. So I'm thinking about it. But maybe like Christmas, if I have time, then I redo the scape and make it like front to back because I sit in the front more than in the back. So
Mm-hmm.
I might have to take all the coal in the back and I don't know what to do with it, and then I have to move the rocks, back and then just kind of scape it like from front to back.
Lots of work, but you might be able to make more like coral viewable space for you.
Yes, and
Mm-hmm.
then more place for the fish to swim and you can see the depth of the aquarium. Right now, I look at the front right here. I feel like I'm running out of rooms, but actually it's not. It's just an illusion.
Just remember, there's always room for one more coral.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah. So I was also heard rumors about this Elos tank. Fill us in on what's going on with that one.
Oh wow, this is an interesting one. I have a friend. He's how can I put it? He might be look a little bit crazy. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he ordered a 600-gallon custom built by Elos, and that is big because the biggest one that Elos sells right now on the website is 245 gallon.
Mm-hmm.
But his is 96 by 48 by 30.
Wow, nice.
And the tank itself is 1,500 pounds. So it's a massive tank. But anyway, he's very well made. So
mm-hmm.
so the budget is pretty deep for the build.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you will see. I don't know if we have it here yet in the state, but the pipe will be carbon fibers.
Oh, oh yeah, I did see that photo. Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that is something new that probably nobody will see it yet. And then he got all the sum and everything from Royal Exclusive.
Nice.
So his tank is gonna be
Amazing.
interesting to see. But I'm glad that I have a chance to build it and then to
Mhm.
work with like all the new toys and the carbon fiber pipe, things like that. It's kind of like intrigued me. So I'm happy to do it.
No, that's awesome. That'll be really cool to see that one too. A couple of people are asking, do you have gyres mounted in the middle of the tank? Or are
Yes,
those?
yes. I this part right here is blocking by a lot of big staghorn and
Hmm.
colonies on left and right. So there's not much flow in the middle.
Hmm.
So for me, I have to solve it somehow. So I mount the gyre here and here
Hmm.
to cover the middle part. So
Huh.
now I have a lot of flow, enough flow here for the coral in the middle to enjoy. As you can see, the polyps on the rainbow SD right here is moving a lot. So
Mhm.
yeah, it used to be very slow in the middle, almost like stagnant. So I feel like it's gonna hurt the coral. So I have to put the gyre in the middle.
Nice. Now, how do you just have it mounted a little pole above the tank, or how do you
Oh
actually have
no,
it mounted?
the tank is full braids.
Okay.
Therefore, I just have the magnet. Like
Ah. Oh, that's
yeah,
easy.
my tank is not Euro braced because I don't want to mess around with bending and tank leaks and things like that. So I asked the guy that built the tank, say, hey, I don't care. You just full braces for me. Make sure that it's never bend or never leaks or never breaks or anything like that. So he said, okay. Then he built the tank completely. You know, it's only like two holes on top, but it's very solid. We have a couple earthquake here a few months ago, and it doesn't move anything.
Hey, perfect. It's good to know the tank survived the earthquake.
Yeah, I mean the tank. Yeah, as you can see, everything here is solid, almost like 6 or 8 inch in. So it's pretty solid.
Nice. How thick is the glass on there?
I think it's 3/4 inch,
Okay. Nice.
and then the frac tank, because I do rimless,
Hmm.
as you can see. So I order 1 inch, so it's prevent bending.
Okay. Those ones look acrylic, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, everything is acrylic.
Okay. Nice. Do you have any issues with scratching with acrylic? I've always been scared of it.
Oh, uh, scratch is the norm with acrylics, but they do have this one here. They call micro mesh, and it's like a thin sandpaper like
Hmm.
these.
Hmm.
And then all I have to do is just like about 20 seconds moving back and forth, it clear all the scratches out.
Nice. That's not too bad then.
Yeah, unless it's like deeper, down to the bottoms.
Hmm.
But if anything like right here, I can just spend 5 minutes and then that's it. It's gone.
Nice. Okay. That's actually not too bad. That's pretty easy to take it out. All right. I'm less scared of acrylic now.
No, like on the tank size, if you have anything more than 300,
Hmm.
I don't feel it's safe for the silicone to hold it.
Yeah.
So for me, I have a formula. If I have anything less than 300, I can go glass.
Hmm.
Anything more than 300, I go acrylic. So I don't have to worry about the seam, falling apart, things like that. Because I saw a lot of thread online that a lot of like the 300, gas tank, and then the seam is leaking, things like that. So,
Mm, yep. No, it's definitely a beautiful tank. So
thank you.
what's your favorite coral in your tank?
Staghorn, but the
Yeah.
best one I like is the Richard Rainbow Stag. Is this one in the back here? It's kind of like a greenish, and then have orange tint into the coralline. So it's like a dual tone type of staghorn.
Nice. Very cool.
Most of the other staghorn is only one color, except for this one here is kind of like a blue tip and then jade color, so it's a nice one.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and then the Hugo Sniper rainbow, so it has like a red and green type of coralline in there. Blue Slimer over here. Some of the Australian wild stack is in the back there.
James was asking, is that the Dallas Acro Australian Green Slimer?
Wow, that's a new name. I know what he's talking about, but I don't think it's the same. However, I have the Florida stack is this one, and this super green.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, but
that's
this they call Florida stack on this one, and then this one here is the Aura yellow tip stack.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful, beautiful tank.
It's a working process. It's not to the point that I want it yet. So hopefully in about 4 years is the time that I think the tank will be what I want to do in 4 years. Yes.
What do you want to do in 4 years? What's the plan?
Well, my plan is the top part right here would be full of sack. So it would be like a forest of all different colors. Red, green, whatever, blue, yellow, whatever stack I can find, I will just let it grow and then make it like a staghorn forest on top.
Nice.
And that's my goal for this tank because I like staghorn, so that's what I want to do. Right now, it's only a few, like the Slimer is growing very fast, so they almost doing that, but the rest has to catch up.
So do you think you're going to rescape or leave it?
Well, even rescape, I will have the staghorn forest on top because that is my vision and my goal. Yeah, and then let all the damsel, live in the staghorn like that.
No, that's very cool.
I can never get tired of looking at them.
Do you have different types of damsels or all the same one? Are they the Talbot ones or which one?
About 60 damsel in here, but all different type. I have the Roland, the Talbot, and then I have the this one used to be a yellow with black stripe, but now they become all black. And then I have that ones with the yellow bellies. And then I have the little baby one with the yellow tails. I don't know where they're at. They're in here somewhere. And then I have a Tracy damsel. You can see the purple one in the background right there. Yeah. So yeah, it's
Is there any aggression between the different species or types of damsels?
No, the tank is pretty big, so they all spread out. They claim their territory, and then they just stay there. They don't fight each other.
So they each have their own stag.
Yeah, they just kind of like take their own corner, and then that's it. Nobody will go to the other guys.
Nice, that works. No, lots of people are just complimenting Love Stag's beautiful tank. What kind of calcium reactor do you use? That was one that's popped up.
Yeah, it's a Reef Octopus, the dual chamber 8-inch.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember the model numbers, but yeah, it's pretty big. It's
that's huge.
Yeah, pretty big.
You have dual canisters on it? Is the second one just to raise your effluent a bit?
The main chamber is this one, and then there's the gas chamber.
Nice. No, very cool. No, it's definitely an awesome setup.
Yeah, I hope I can improve on the setup every day because otherwise, then I will be bored.
Okay, so if you don't do water changes, is there any type of regular maintenance that you do on the tank? Aside from dosing all the
like
little bottles?
I mean, once in a while, I just clean the detritus.
Mm-hmm.
So if I look into my frac tank and I see this
Yep.
on the corner right here, then yeah, like maybe this weekend I make up 5 gallons and then I just take it out
Okay.
and I put 5 gallon back and then that's it. That's my thing with this tank. I don't have like a 10% or 15% or 20% routine or anything like that. I just kind of like suck out the detritus and then that's it. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's not
I
too bad. It's
mean,
pretty.
for
So,
me to change the water on this system, it's gonna number one is a big task, and then number two, it costs money pretty. You know, it's like let's say 20% of 600. That's 120 gallons a month. So you probably like spend like about 40-50 bucks a month on salt alone.
mm-hmm.
And I don't have to do it because the water is clean and you know the bacteria do their job and things like that. So
How much do you spend on Zeovit a month?
oh, this is an interesting topic. Everybody thinks Zeovit is expensive, right?
It's true.
My cost of the Zeovit, I bought like let's say, example, let's say I buy 12 bottles. Each bottle is 100, so $1,200.
Mm-hmm.
But that will last me a year.
$100 a month.
Yeah,
Okay.
so $100 a month. That's on Zeovit. So it's not like like with this system, people think I pay at least like $200-300 a month on Zeovit alone, but no, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
The additive is very concentrated, so you do drops. I mean, you don't even do like a lot. So you just drop per day. So the bottle lasts a long time.
Okay, so that's not too bad then.
Yeah, I mean, if you want your tank to look nice, then at least you have to, invest into it.
Mm-hmm. I was laughing one of the posts that you did earlier. They were talking about like the cost of doing the monthly maintenance on the tank, and you're like, yeah, it's no big deal, and people are like, what? Mm-hmm.
Well, it's
Maybe a big system, a lot of coral.
yeah, that subject is very subjective. So I
Mm-hmm.
cannot, I cannot not say anything on that. Everybody have their own budget, their own tank, their own everything. It's not going to be the same.
No, I agree. I normally just avoid price because it's so subjective to everybody.
Yeah, it's something that you like to do and you do it.
Exactly.
That's about all I can say.
It makes you happy at the end of the day.
Exactly. I told my wife is the fish tank is like you, like the wife. I'm happy with you. I can look at other tank to fantasize, but I'm still happy with you.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, the other fish tank is look much better, right? So you can fantasize about it, but at the end of the day,
that one's
I'm
yours
here,
and it
I'm
makes you
home with
happy.
you, so that's it.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I love it. Now, is there anything that you would say is like tips to being successful or things that you think helps your tank thrive?
Okay, my philosophy is the coral need time to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
So if you change a lot, you slow down the growth because every time you change something, the coral will stop so they can adapt to that new environment or the new light or the new flow or the new whatever you change to.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe like a month or 2 months later, they start to grow according to that change.
Mm-hmm.
And now you change again, so they will stop.
Yeah.
This happened for like a lot of reefer online. Every time they see like a nice tank, the first question they ask is, "What is your light schedule?
Or what salt do you use?" Those
What
are the two I
lights
see
do you
constantly.
use? What salt or whatever?" And
Yep.
then they go home, and then let's say they have a Radeon, and then they do the program, whatever, copy it. A month later, they can see another nice tank. Same question again. What your light schedule? And then they go home and they change the light. So they keep doing that, and then their core keep reset, and then eventually they stress out and they die. That's the bottom line. So for me, I can recommend if you want to do something, you have to keep minimum 4 to 6 months for them to tell you, okay, this is good or this is bad. Then you can tweak a little bit, but you cannot tweak it every month or every 2 months or whatever because all you do is you reset the cycle of growth, which means the coral is going to keep going back to dormant, and then they don't grow. Yeah, I never touch. That's why I choose Ocean Revive. I mean, this is just on and off. There's no ramping up, ramping down.
That's so you
Highlight is
can't
just on
change
and
it.
off. All my LED bar is just on and off. There's no ramping up, ramping down. So for me, if I even want to change it, I cannot change it.
Is it so? Did you get those as preventative so that you couldn't fiddle with it?
I mean, you know, human nature. You have something you can do. You can always like to do it. So I have radions like about 4 months ago, and I have to admit it. I changed, you know, here and there, up and down, you know, like the intensity and the color, things like that. So so for me, I just like to go with basic light, which means like T5.
Yep.
T5 is just on and off, and plus all the LEDs I bought is all the basic one. It's just white and blue, and then the timer is on and off. That's it. I cannot have remote control and then programs, and I cannot do anything.
Nice.
So therefore.
So you keep it simple with the lighting.
My tank is okay because I don't touch any light. The pump, I clean them once in a while, but they just stay in that same place. I don't do anything to them. I don't change the programs. Just leave it as is. So that's my recommendation is like if you want to do something to your reef tank, stick to it. Let's say you have a system that you want to do. You stick to it for at least like 6 months. Then you can see, hey, you know what, is this good or bad? Then you can move to other direction or stay the same. But if you keep moving around and changing everything, not just the light, like your perimeters, your feeding, your flow, whatever, the coral, they will react. And then some coral adapt faster, but some coral, they adapt slower. So they're going to stop. They're going to stop the growth for sure.
No, that makes sense. I agree with you on that one. I always tell people as my analogy that corals are like finicky old men. Like they can adapt, but they're like very set in their ways. They don't like change. So it's like they almost don't even care what it is. They'll adapt to it like within reason. Like, don't change it.
They're very resilient. I mean, like I have coral that look like they're gonna die, and then for some reason I don't look at it, I don't touch it, or anything like that, and then a few months later they start coming back again. So I mean, like they sometimes they're very easy to die, but sometimes it's not easy for them to die. So.
Yep, pretty much. Someone was asking if you use carbon or GFO at all.
No GFO, only carbon. GFO is okay to use, but with the Zeovit, the bacteria is so efficient of reduce nutrients. So the phosphate, you never have problem with it. I do use carbon to make the water clear. So this is my carbon reactor right here. But it's just only for me to make the water clear. Also, I have a little bit of soft coral right here. So therefore, I want to make sure that the soft coral don't put out any chemical or anything that can cause problems.
Yep.
But GFO, then I mean, I have nothing against GFO, but yeah, with Zeovit is you don't have to do it.
Okay, that works. Okay, another random one. How often do you change your carbon?
Oh, once a month.
Okay, well, that's well good.
Yeah, once a month, and then I don't buy those expensive ones. It's just a regular carbon. I don't have to buy like the most expensive ones.
Nice. Beauty. Does he still run Zeovit? Yes, he does, Jeff. You must feel it. All right, so okay, you got the calcium reactor for the bulk of it, and then you got Calc on top of that through the Calc reactor.
Yeah, my main, I call this my the heart. Okay, like for my reef tank, the calcium reactor to me is the heart. If it stopped, my tank will die.
That thing's happening
Any of the
fast.
other ones like the light or the flow or whatever, chiller, heater, things like that, if it stops, it's not going to kill my tank. But
Mm-hmm.
if this part right here stops, then it could crash my tank because
That's true.
to me the calcium reactor is the heart of the system.
You have a backup for your calcium reactor if it ever dies?
Nope. but hope. But I mean, this reactor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the regulator. I'm sorry. Alan built this one is a dual stage type. So he told me that this reactor will outlast my tank. So
Nice.
I guess it's a good insurance to have. But I mean, it's pretty. It's not a lot of mechanical thing in here that can break. If this pump break down, you can swap out pretty fast. And only this part right here is the most important thing that it goes the CO2 into your reactor. But
Mm-hmm.
the master flax, this guy can run like 20 years without
Okay, you beat me
any
to it.
problem. So
I was
I
just gonna
mean,
ask.
my setup is pretty foolproof.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna ask what you're using for feed pumps. You beat me to it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, the master flax is a little bit expensive, but
Mm-hmm.
it's medical grade. So I at least like I feel more secure with it.
All right. I just saw a little sneak peek of some other dosing stuff down there.
Oh,
Was
yeah, it's
that just for adjustments?
more flatworms, and
Yep.
then this is a zero slot 3. Yeah, it's just extra bottle for me to keep because it's the other run out. I have the replacement right away.
Mm-hmm.
This thing here will last like about a couple of years anyway. So
Tons.
I wait until like every time they have 25% off, and I buy a bunch of them.
Nice. All right. So someone was asking how much evaporation a day do you get and how much Calcwaster. So I'm assuming you have a Calcwaster reactor, so
Oh,
it's probably not in your ATO. But
yeah, car washer reactor. I don't use ATO to run it. As you
mm-hmm.
can see, and right now the pump is on. I have a
Mm-hmm.
little parasitic pump right here. I programmed the apex to turn on every 30 minutes. It will turn
Mm-hmm.
on 2 minutes,
Nice.
and it pump the RODI into here,
Mm-hmm.
and then the overflow of the Calc we're gonna go back to my sump here.
Nice.
So that's no ATO valve stuck, and then it pumps in like like 24 hours a day or something. Then so I don't have to worry about that. It's a little bit more fail safe than you use the ATO. The ATO is kind of like dangerous because if your float valve stuck, then it keep pumping calc into your tank, then it will crash your tank.
Yep. I've seen too someone's water change got distracted or something, then turn off the ATO or it just keeps dumping it in when you're not paying attention. Like there's lots of little risks with that one.
Yeah. Plus, like ATO, don't give you the exact because I have to balance between the cow and the calcium reactor
Mm-hmm.
to give me the right alkalinity of my tank.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to kind of like figure it out, half and half, or maybe 2/3 and 1/3, things like that. So I'll dial in, and then my out is always like you can see the 723.
Mm-hmm.
I can test this like 4 times a day. It's only very like 713 to 733. It's very stable.
Nice.
So therefore, yeah.
How,
But in the beginning, you have to kind of play with it, figure it out, like how much calcium reactor you want to run, and then how much cut reactor you want to run.
okay, that makes sense. How often do you have your alkatronic testing?
I have it.
And we just lost the call. Let me call him back. Give me 1 sec here. Double me. Hopefully the phone didn't die. All right. Now I'm going to half assume his cell phone probably died because it shows he's no longer online. Unless he gives me a call back in a second. But it's definitely a pretty beautiful tank. If you guys did have any other questions on it, let me know and I can make sure to catch those ones if I do get him back on the line. And these ones. All right, at it. So just a couple other photos that he sent me earlier of his tank, which is pretty cool. And beautiful, beautiful tank. What is everyone dosing? You kill this one, yeah. That's the problem. Video does definitely take a lot of juice out of the phone. But yeah, so a couple actually nice photos because I know it does. It's harder to get it across, at least on a live stream, especially not using a foam filter or something like that on it. So he was running an Apex. The Apex wasn't actually doing much other than just mainly monitoring. Zeovit wise, you might want to rewind the live stream and check back on those ones. It did I forget the name of half all the Zeovit stuff already. But yeah, definitely a beautiful tank. Thanks for the still shots. No problem. I want to try adding Calc. What's a better way? Okay, so if you want to use Calc Waster, one of the easier ways to do it, or the better ways, I'd say, is using Calc Reactor. There is some that you can put on your ATO, but the only downfall with that is it's based on your evaporation. As the seasons change, the temperature in your house changes, then it's going to mess with the ratios that is dosing to your tank. Or if you have a Calc reactor, then you could run it through a doser or something else to push water through it, and then you're controlling exactly how much you're dosing to be consistent with it, and it's going to keep your tank more stable. What light does he got? G-Day Reefing. So he was running Ocean Revives and halides on his tank. And he also had some other kind of blue LED strips. I didn't actually catch which brand they were. One of the tanks was all T5, and the other one, his main tank, was halide/LED. He had a T5 tank with LEDs, and he had another one that was all LEDs. So it gave him a bit of ability to test stuff on different tanks and see which corals like which lighting, which is kind of a cool way to do it. It's nice to have those options and see, which ones prefer what. Full Zeovit tank, basically. He did a few things outside of Zeovit. He was running his nutrients a bit higher just to get some more of the deeper, darker colors rather than the pale colors, but otherwise it was pretty much Zeovit. Do I need a pump for a Calc reactor? Okay, so the Calc reactor itself, the Vast Marine one's one of the ones I've seen that looks pretty good. I've seen ones that either have a pump in it, so they recirculate the water within it on and off, or a Calc stir, so there's some kind of a rod or paddle inside that stirs it. Did he say he sold coral as well? He does sell it once in a while. He says he mainly likes to just grow it out and have big colonies for himself, but he does once in a while if it's too big or he wants to trade something. So a little bit here and there. All right, guys. Any other questions you got while you're in there? His corals look kind of dark for a Zeo tank. Yeah, so normally in Zeovit tanks, they are super low nutrients. Oh, turn your video back on. Welcome back, Anthony.
Sorry about that.
No problem. All right. Turn your camera back on, though. I'm staring at two of me right now.
Okay, here we go. Sorry about that.
Did your phone die?
The phone run out of batteries.
I figured that might happen. No problem. Welcome back.
All right.
All right, so Zeovit says to change water every week. Yeah, so no, he rarely ever does water changes. I was answering random Zeovit questions for you.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a hybrid Zeovit type. So it's not like I follow them 100%. They have other stuff they recommend, but I play with the system and I figure out which is best for my tank. See, one thing about Zeovit is hard. They're very individual. You have to kind of figure out your own dosage, and then according to your tank nutrients and your tank chemistry, things like that, and you figure out your own doses. They have a guideline, but the guideline most of the time not going to work exactly for your tank. So therefore, a few failure more than success with Zeovit because most people can figure out what's best for their tank to dose. So they dose a little bit more or a little bit less, a little bit more than that it causes like algae bloom and cyano, things like that, and then a little bit less and it doesn't do anything. So that's why Zeovit is a little bit more hands-on type of system. You have to really know your tank chemistry and then you can play with it, but you have to be very patient. I dose everything with Zeo, always start out with 50%.
Mm-hmm.
And then every month I increase maybe like 5 to 10% until I see my tank reaction is good, like the coral look nice and react well, then I stop. But I never put in like 100% whatever they asked me to put in from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. That's good advice for almost anything you dose, is to kind of go slow and test it and see what happens. If things are good, you can increase a little bit, but not totally.
Yeah, that's the best way, but most people don't have the patience for
Mm-hmm.
it.
Have you found?
Unfortunately.
So, how long into your reefing career did you learn patience?
There's a good questions. I used to in the 90s. I used to just go out and buy corals and go home and stack, left and right, up and down, make sure everything fill up.
Mm-hmm.
But later on, like about 2012, I think, more like frags and more kind of like a smaller colonies
Mm-hmm.
make me um, get more patient.
Mm-hmm.
Before, because I mean, in the 90s, you know what I'm talking about. You can go to any coral store and they have like colonies from left to right. You can choose anything you want, and then you go home and you just put onto your rocks, and that's it. I mean, you don't have to worry about growing it or taking care of it or whatever. But now we have to be patient because we can only buy 1 inch frac.
Yeah.
There's not much colonies you can buy. Plus, it's going to be very expensive to buy colonies nowadays anyway. So yeah, the patient come later in my reefing career, but patient is always good for reefer because like everybody say it is nothing good happen in reefing. It's only bad thing happen fast.
Mm-hmm. It's true. No, very, very, very true. A few people are like, yeah, I have zero patience. It does teach you it after a while. I've definitely got a lot more. That is one massive carpet nem in there.
Yeah, there's a really nice one. It's like a rainbow colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Uh,
beautiful.
it's yeah, it's pretty big. It's like almost like a 10 by 10. So,
It's huge.
but
The clownfish looks like just a teeny little baby beside it.
yeah, the clownfish look tiny in this house. So, but anyway, they loving it. So,
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I just got into anemone lately because I don't know what to do anything more with SPS. So I kind of venture to like another dimensions of reefing. But yeah, I recently got this guy and then the carpet over here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are my two latest anemone that I get for the tank.
Nice. A couple of people are asking for your YouTube channel. Do you post much onto it? I saw a few videos on there.
Oh, my channels?
Yeah, what's the name of your channels for people to check out more of your
Oh, my
content later?
channel is ABC Corals. It stands for Anthony Best Collection Corals.
Okay, nice. And that's YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's on YouTube.
Okay, perfect. I'll put a link to that in the description after.
I update it like every 3 months, every 6 months if I have something new or
Okay.
things like that. I'm not into like every week or every day.
What? Okay, fair. It's a lot of work. I understand.
I'm not as good as you for the video type yet, so
I feel guilty if I miss one.
I only know how to grow coral. That's it. That's my skill.
It's a good skill. You focus on the important things. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Okay. So what we were talking about earlier, kind of, main key things or kind of tips about it or secrets of growing coral. Biggest thing, stop messing with stuff. Leave it alone, let it be stable, let things adapt to it. Any other kind of pro tips?
Um, you know, I don't want to get into a debate, but BIS come out with a video
Mm-hmm.
talking about flows,
Yep.
and they say that no correlation between fast flow or slow flow, things like that, to growth. But to
Mm-hmm.
me, I don't think it's true.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, if you replicate the ocean to your reef tank, you will be successful.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Ocean has.
ocean, there's no way that you have low flow. I mean, the ocean flow is probably like 1,000 times more than the reef tank.
This is true.
So the testing that they did is very vague because they have a tank that doesn't have any live rocks, doesn't have any big coral to block the flows. They only have like fracs
Mm-hmm.
on the frac racks, right? So because of that, the flow is not restricted or not, limited that much.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, maybe after the test, they say the growth is not, big difference. But by
Mm-hmm.
the time you put rocks, other coral grows around it, the flow is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So their test is based on a different environment than your reef tank.
Mm-hmm.
For me, especially SPS, I need flow. Flow brings nutrient to the corals. They take away, you know, food, the detritus and things like that. I mean, with no flow, I guess like Zoa and mushroom and LPS is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to keep SPS and you want to go with low flow, then it still can happen for you. But I don't think it's going to be ultimate.
Yeah.
Um, my best advice is just stick to one thing. Don't try to change too much, and then it will just create that cycle, the dormant, and then the adaptations and things like that. And yeah, it's gonna slow down everything. So just close your eye. Don't put your hand in the tank. Just keep everything stable. Feed the fish, and then just sit back and enjoy. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Um. There you go. I just pasted the link to your channel, so if anyone wants to check it out or subscribe, you can follow along every couple months for an update. You're gonna have
Thank
to
you
go to
very
every.
much.
You're gonna have to go to every second month now.
But yeah, the Elo slang is coming this Friday.
Oh, nice.
So I will keep you guys updated on that. But this is gonna be a massive build, and it's gonna be very interesting how everything come out.
So you're doing or helping out with a lot of the build on that one, right?
I help people around me all the time, but actually I don't build stuff for them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Only this one here very intriguing me, so I accept to help them. But you know, I don't have time to go out and build system for everybody. But he's a good friend. Plus, like, how can you say no to you know top 10 elos in the world? I cannot say no to that.
Exactly. It'll be a really cool build. I'm excited to see it. Got to send me photos as you do it.
Yeah. Definitely. That after I finish,
Mm-hmm.
we can talk about it again at that place, and then you can
Okay.
see it. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yourself, Abelard, I don't know say your name. I apologize. Can small fish be fine with high flow? You have any issues with any of your smaller damsels with any other fish in your tank with crazy flow?
Uh, the tank is pretty long, so I mean, they can find their own area that they like, but they don't mind to swim by the power heads. Sometimes the power push them like that, like see the purple tanks right there.
Mm-hmm.
They just push them away, but they don't mind about the flows. This tank is 96 inches long, so
Nice.
like I mean, like in the middle here, probably the flow won't reach like all the way to the middles anyway.
It does
So
now with dual gyres.
yeah, so only like about this part right here is a lot of flow, like on in the left part right here, but
Mm-hmm.
in the middle, then there's not too much flow.
Have you ever used a par meter on your tank?
I'm sorry.
Have you ever used a par meter on your tank?
Oh yeah, I have a
Yep.
par meter. Definitely, par meter is good to have because especially with LED. LED is very deceptive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible how strong they are. I measure it, and then sometimes it can be like 600 pars or something like that, right on top. So I have to dive down and make sure that it's like about, for me, I run about 400 to the top, which means where the yellow corals is.
Yep.
And then kind of like in the middle part right here will be about like 250 to 300. That will be the best zone for the coral. And to the bottom here, then it's like about 150 to 200.
Okay. What's it on the sand bed level?
The sand level is like about 100 to 150.
Okay.
And usually Zoa and I have some Monty down here and some LPS, but the Zoa actually they like bright lights too because before the staghorn was growing like that, you can see that Zoa colonies right there. They were loving the highlights and they spread out like wildfire.
I find you get better color too when they get more light. They seem to be more vibrant.
Yeah. Like if you, I only have like about 2 polyp or 3 polyp to start out here. And in about, this place is like about 6 to 8 months from 2 polyp become like this one here. So
Tons.
it's, the ATI is pretty strong. It's like almost like 400 par on top, and this area right here is like about 300 par. So the Zoa, they like strong par too. Not like, everybody say like low light for the Zoa, but
yeah,
I'm not into Zoa, so I'm not an expert, so I cannot I cannot tell you the secret. I have them in here, and then the sea urchin kind of spread them around, and next thing you know, they just grow. So that's all I know.
he wears them as little hats and drops them around the tank randomly.
Yeah, that's what they do. I have a few of the tuxedo sea urchin, and then they carry stuff around the tank, and they just drop it.
Nice. Yeah, keeps it entertaining. Beautiful. Well, I think we got to most things. Is there any other points you want to touch on or talk about today?
I guess that's about it. I just want to say thank you for everybody to join in and look at the tank and talk reef, because like that's what my passion is.
I love it.
I love to talk reef to anybody, not just like expert or beginner. Doesn't matter. I help out a lot of people around my area with questions and how to grow stuff and things like that. So
beautiful. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to have you on again in the future at some point. And appreciate you coming on today. It's awesome.
Oh, thanks, Devin.
Beautiful tank. I did put your link in the description of the video, so I did update that for the live stream. So if you guys want to subscribe or check it out, there's a link in the description.
All right, thank you very much.
Awesome. Okay, thanks so much for coming on today.
All right, take care.
Okay.
Bye.
And bye. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, as always, hit the thumbs up button if you're new. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next week's stream. Thanks, Anthony.